Shoreline Group is a family business run by 5 brothers with you as the group MD, even though you are not the oldest. How does it work exactly?
I think what I have as luck is my other brothers are all engineers in specific fields. And that's really helped steer them towards a focus in what they enjoy. Yinka, as an example, is an electrical engineer. So he's more in our electrical division. Tunde is a chemical engineer, so he's more in the oil and gas, but working in the group. Ayo is a material civil engineer, so he's more in the construction side of things. So the reality is keeping people in that mix in what they enjoy. And I'm more of a generalist. I enjoy doing everything and learning from people. And that for me has always been my drive, learning and enjoying being able to put things together, because someone's got to be able to sit behind the scene to visualize the whole thing, where it's going and where you want it to go. And things sometimes are not always going right, but with God and people around you to support you, you need that hand-holding in building it. But it's difficult, you know, family business, because you have different ideas. But someone's got to be able to sit down firm, and this should be the direction. We argue, we fight, but we've got to do what we've got to do.
You know, I know that siblings are able to maintain that kind of bond, usually because of the influence of one parent. Who was it for you? Your mother?
Yes, my mother's always brought us up together. When my father passed away in 1980, so my mother was saddled with bringing us up, and she's always made sure we all brought up together. So we always had to support each other. And that's always been our winning formula, because we work together. We have the sibling arguments and disagreements, which is normal. We're humans. But the most important part of it is the focus and strive to succeed together. And that's a very big thing. And now we have the next generation of the children also, who are now looking, you know, are working in the business. We have, you know, one of the first grandchild who's now flying and also working within the aviation part of the business. And, you know, again, that's the focus. So we just, look, if Nigeria, like many other countries, have generational businesses, then we should try and learn how to keep those businesses generational as well. Because it does two things. Those are the businesses of the future that stands the test of time today. And if it's run around the right structure and focus, it gets better. But it's never easy. It's never easy. But you just have to keep your focus and, more importantly, discipline in what you want to achieve as a collective. And we have shared collective goals.
Your background is in business administration. How did having that expertise affect the way you've run the business so far?
You know, the thing about business today, in modern day, you can buy expertise. You know, there's no, if you think about it, global business today that's run all over the world, especially with the growth of private equity, you can go out and buy expertise. There are management consultants out there. There's specific skill set that people have. You pay for it and they come work for you. So you don't have to be a rocket scientist to set up a rocket building company. You can buy those skill sets to make it happen. That's all it is.
Were there times in your career where you thought you could fail or that something could go wrong?
Always. You think something will go wrong always. But you see, one critical drive is God on your side, because there's always someone, a being, God, to shepherd and drive you. And that's the protection you have. But do you worry about, oh, do I do this transaction because something might go wrong? In as much as you have the conviction that you can make a success out of it, why not? I'll give you an example. Nigeria has a huge power deficit. Shoreline Power Company is our power business. Now, could it go wrong? Yes, it could, because there could be oversupply of power in Nigeria in the next 5 years. Right? If you go to America, gas prices were so low because there's oversupply of gas. These things will come to pass in Nigeria as well with time. But do you take that as the evaluation of not going into the business? No. So you just go with it, and that's why we're an emerging economy, because by the time we become emerged, hopefully we would have made some money.
Now tell me, what's the best advice you've ever been given?
The best advice is to be truthful to yourself and to be truthful to the people you're working with. That's the best advice.
You obviously work hard. You serve on several companies, you run so many businesses. How important is work-life balance?
The proper thing is you need to have a good work-life balance. Now, in practice, it's not that easy. So the reality is having an understanding wife and family, and more importantly, having and living within an understanding people. If you have all those fused together, you will get some balance in what you have to do. Sometimes I have to, for meetings, I miss the school appointments with my kids. Sometimes for business, I plan to go to dinner with my wife and I can't make it. But once you have people that are understanding around you, it's a different signal.
Well, you're a keen polo player. What role does that play in keeping you sane?
You know, polo is an amazing sport. For me, polo is one of the most engaging sports anyone can play. One, you're sitting on a horse, so you've got a different animal that you have to control. You're holding a stick and you're chasing a very small white ball. It's amazing. And the most important thing is the fear in your mindset of control at all times. So it teaches you agility, control, self-control, and discipline. Because imagine if you're a very indisciplined rider, you kill yourself. Imagine if you're a fearful person, you can't get on the horse. So the discipline around polo as a sport brings that into you. And I'm sure that's why they call it the game of kings, because kings are meant to be fearless. And it's an amazing sport. I love my horses, I spend my time around my polo, and it's something I enjoy. That's my relaxation. I play it all over the world.
Mr. Kola Karim, we thank you for your time.
Thank you.